They say family is everything, but sometimes everything you gave them wasn't enough. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 60 years old, and this is the story of how my own family left me behind while I was lying in a hospital bed in a coma. Please, before I begin, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Not Her Fault, if you believe no mother deserves to be forgotten. It started on a Tuesday. I remember the sun coming through the kitchen window. I had just baked banana bread, my favorite. I was waiting for my daughter Emily to call. She promised we'd all have dinner together that night. Her husband, my son David, and his wife Claire. I felt happy. I felt needed. But life can change in a second. I stepped out to get the mail. A speeding car. That's the last thing I remember. I didn't wake up for weeks. When I did, I was in a white room. Machines beeped slowly around me. My body was weak. Tubes were in my nose. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. I was in a coma. The nurse smiled. "Oh my God, you're awake. We didn't think you'd make it." Tears filled my eyes. I asked her, "Where's my family?" She paused. She told me, "No one's visited. I'm sorry." At first, I thought she was wrong. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe something happened to them too. But days passed. Then a week, no calls, no flowers, no familiar faces, only the sound of machines and silence. One afternoon, the nurse brought me soup. I saw her phone light up, and I saw a photo. It was them, my daughter, my son, their partners, smiling, on a beach, cocktails in their hands, palm trees behind them. They were on vacation. While I was fighting for my life, they were sipping margaritas. They knew, they just didn't care. I asked the nurse, "When was this photo taken?" She looked uncomfortable. She said, "Last week." That was when I broke. My hands shook, my chest ached more than the accident ever did. They moved on while I was still here. Weeks later, I was discharged. No one picked me up. The hospital arranged a cab to take me home, but I didn't go to my old house. No. I went to a small apartment I rented with what little I had. They hadn't even texted. Months passed. One day, my son David showed up at my door. He looked thinner, tired. "Sarah," he said, "not even Mom." He told me Claire had left him. He lost his job. Emily and her husband had moved away. And now, he needed a place to stay. I looked at him, this man I raised, whose school fees I paid, whose birthday cakes I baked, who I waited for in a cold hospital room. I asked him one question: "Why didn't you visit me?" He looked away. "We didn't think you'd make it. Emily said it'd be better to move on." I smiled, softly. Then I said, "Then keep moving on." I closed the door, and for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Some people will only love you when they need you, but mothers, we carry love even when we're broken, but sometimes we learn to let go. If this story touched you, please subscribe to Not Her Fault, because every mother deserves to be heard. I smiled, softly. Then I said, "Then keep moving on." I closed the door, and for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Some people will only love you when they need you, but mothers, we carry love even when we're broken, but sometimes we learn to let go.